Hey everybody, today we're going to talk about 5 warning signs that you're seeing a bad therapist. Let's just jump right into it. I've heard from a lot of you that you are seeing someone who hasn't been working for you or something bad has happened. And so I think it's important for us to talk about how do we know when we're seeing a bad therapist. And the first is that we feel like we have to prove something. Like they don't really believe you when you say you're having a hard time or you're struggling with X, Y, or Z. And so we therefore try to make it worse because we feel like we need to prove how sick we are. Second, and something that would drive me crazy, is that they don't remember anything. They never remember what we talked about last. They don't remember what your sister's name was or what you did or what the whole reason that you're here and that one thing that you talked about a few weeks ago. They just don't remember anything, and it makes you feel like they're not even listening. The third is one that I actually talked about in a previous video, ethics in therapy, but that is when your therapist allows you to text, call, or email them anytime, and they get right back to you. And the reason this isn't good is because it actually creates a really unhealthy relationship and makes you completely dependent on your therapist versus the healthy thing, which is I'm going to teach you some tips and tricks and then you go out in the world and you practice, come back and let me know how it goes. And obviously there is the caveat that if we are suicidal, there may be a safety plan in place where we call or text our therapist when we're feeling like we're a danger to ourselves, and then they may meet us at the hospital or something like that. The fourth sign, and one that I don't think people talk about enough, is if you just chat like friends and you never work on anything. You don't actually get anything done. There's no treatment plan, there's no goals, we're not really working towards anything, we're just kind of paying to hang out. And in truth, that's not therapy at all. Now, obviously, if we've been working with our therapist for a long time and now we're doing well and we find ourselves having less and less to talk about, congratulations! That means that you've met all your goals and it's time to stop therapy for a while. But if we've never worked through anything or met any of our goals and we're just chatting like friends, then I think it's time to find somebody else. Fifth and final warning sign that you have a bad therapist is that they talk about themselves a lot. This is your time. I know that it feels weird at first because we're used to conversations being two-way, but in therapy, it's all about the client. If I'm wanting to talk about myself, what that really means is, as a therapist, I need to get in therapy. Because if I can't give you your whole hour and focus on you and your progress, then I'm not being a therapist at all. I hope you found this helpful. I get a lot of questions all the time about whether or not this is ethical behavior, whether or not you're with a good therapist or a bad therapist, and I hope this just kind of shows you some red flags and signs and warnings to know that you need to get out and find someone better, because we all deserve to get help, right? By the time we reach out, sometimes we feel like we're at the end of our rope, and I just want each and every one of you to get the proper help that you need and deserve. And please share this, because I don't think people talk about this enough, and I think it's important for us all to know. And if you're new here, click to subscribe, and if you want more videos about behind the scenes of a therapist, click over here and I will see you next time. Bye!